So today, we're going to dive into two really profound verses from the Chaitanya-Charitamrita. They talk about a divine messenger who is completely unique and a gift. Well, a gift so special it's said that it has never been offered before. Let's find out what that's all about. And right out of the gate, the text hits us with this incredibly powerful line, an offering that has never been made before. I mean, wow, that immediately makes you wonder, right? Who is making this incredible offer? And what could it possibly be? Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, who is this messenger? The verse introduces him in a really interesting way, not with some big grand title, but through his family and his absolutely stunning appearance. He's first identified simply as śacī-nandanaḥ. All that means is the son of Mother Shachi. You know, it's such a personal, humble name, which is amazing because it stands in this incredible contrast to how he's described next, a description that really paints a picture. So he appears in our current era, the age of Kali, and his form is described as being resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. The text even makes a point to say, his splendor is more beautiful than actual gold, like he's lit up by a million splendors all at once. I mean, just picture that, a being made of pure liquid gold light. Okay, so we've got this incredible golden messenger, but why? What's the point of his visit? And this brings us to the very heart of his mission, that totally unique gift we talked about at the beginning. The text is really clear about his motivation. It's something called causeless mercy. Think of it as pure, unconditional kindness, no strings attached. He's come to offer a treasure that's been locked away, something nobody has had access to for ages. So this is not just any old gift. It's something incredibly rare and precious. And that treasure, that gift, it has a name. Unnatojjvala-rasāṁ. Now, what in the world is that? Well, it refers to the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service. You could think of it as the absolute highest, most intense, most intimate flavor of divine love that can exist. It's often called the mellow of conjugal love. This is the incredible gift he came to deliver. But to really get where it comes from, we need a little bit of backstory. To really get the full picture here, we have to look at the second verse. It reveals something totally foundational, a key piece of theology about two of the most important figures in the whole tradition. And this right here, this is the key to the whole thing. The source tells us that Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna are actually, in their essence, the very same being. They are one identity. But, and this is a big but, for a very specific reason, they chose to manifest themselves in two separate bodies. So let's break this down a bit. On one side, you have Krishna, who is the original identity, the Supreme Lord. And on the other side, you have Radha, who is the complete transformation of his own love. She is his internal, pleasure-giving energy. So why do this? Why split one being into two? Well, it was so they could engage in and really experience the entire spectrum of divine loving affairs. Basically, one became two just for the sake of experiencing love. Okay, so that was the past. They separated. And this is where it all comes together. This is the big reveal, where the story of our golden messenger finally makes perfect sense. The verse just lays it out for us, plain and simple. Now, these two transcendental identities have again united. That period of being separate, it's over. The two have become one again. So what does that look like? This divine fusion, this synthesis, happens in a few stages. First, you start with the original identity, Sri Krishna. Then he becomes adorned with the inner mood, the deep feelings, the sentiment of Srimati Radharani. And finally, he is completely covered by her radiant golden complexion. And what do you get when you put it all together? You get a totally new, unified form, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And boom, there it is, the mysterious golden messenger, the son of Mother Shachi. He is none other than Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the single, unified form of both Radha and Krishna. He is Krishna himself, but he's experiencing the world through the loving heart and with the golden glow of Radha. So, okay, great, they merged. But why? What's the big deal? Why was it so important for them to combine like this in order to deliver that special gift? Well, the answer really gets to the very soul of this whole story. Let's go back to that gift, the unnatojjvala-rasāṁ, that highest flavor of divine love.
Here's the most amazing part. Sri Krishna Chaitanya doesn't just show up to, talk about it or to hand it out like a leaflet. By actually embodying the mood and the form of Radharani, who is the personification of that love, he comes to personally feel it and then to give it away freely to everyone. That is the ultimate expression of causeless mercy.
And you know what? This brings us right back to where we started, with that prayer from the very first verse. The author is asking for this golden avatar, this literal embodiment of divine empathy and love, to come and live inside our own hearts. It's a personal invitation for us to connect with that same sublime feeling he came to share. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. We often think about the divine as this giver of things, right? A bestower of blessings. But what these verses are showing us is something so much more radical. A divinity that merges, that transforms, and that actually becomes the very gift it wants to give. It's a pretty powerful idea to reflect on, and it perfectly explains why the golden avatar and his gift are so unprecedented.